All right, thanks, Daniel. As Meredith stated earlier, my name is Paul Forney. I want to thank Medius for inviting me to join today. I am currently the Associate Director of Sales Service at Reily Foods, but prior to this role, I was the AP Supervisor for around 2 years. While in AP, I was tasked with finding opportunities to make the department more efficient. That goal quickly led to us looking for a full AP automation solution. So today, I'll go over what our old process looked like, how we chose Medius, our implementation story, as well as how we continue to leverage the tools to improve our organization. So first, pre-automation. We are in the ERP system AX 2009. Just to give you a little background on that, before Medius Flow, our invoice process was mostly manual. We had a document management solution that acted like a fancy Windows folder. All we could see was the file name and when the file was created. We didn't know our current liability because the system was not able to track invoice amounts for each document. In addition to manual document storage, we also lacked a real workflow system to distribute invoices for approval. Half of our invoices were going directly to employees, while the other half were coming to AP to distribute via email. And as most of you know, it's really difficult to track emails that are going all over the organization. It also made it impossible for AP to know what invoices were outstanding, since half of them we never received directly. Our purchase order process was also very time-consuming. We were manually matching invoices with our receipts and packing slips while calculating short pays and variances in Excel or on an adding machine. All these manual processes resulted in long approval delays, missed discounts, late payments, and a ton of vendor statement research to track down missing invoices. So that leads us to the decision. So we knew we needed something different. We couldn't move forward with what we currently have. So I decided to go out and look at every single possible solution I could find. In all, we looked at over 12 different AP automation solutions. That meant 12 different sales calls and about 9 different live online demos. What was good is it was apparent from the very beginning that Medius Flow would definitely make the short list. So once we narrowed down the list based on ERP compatibility and functionality, we brought Medius and another solution into our office for an in-person demo. The finance organization clearly saw that Medius Flow was the best solution for Reily Foods. So that was the easy part. Now we had to figure out how to sell this AP automation project to the rest of the organization. So what did we do to pitch them? We showed them that Medius provides a better user experience, so less time spent on administrative tasks for both AP and the other departments that approve invoices. It eliminates countless manual processes, as well as allows us to scale. So since Medius can cross ERP systems and has functionality to create different company hierarchies, we would be ready and able to make an acquisition without adding headcount. It also decreases the time needed for our accounting close, especially at year end. In our old system, like I said, we had to wait for employees to submit any invoices they received directly. With Medius Flow, everything comes to a central location, so all invoices are visible the day they're received, so we know exactly what's out there. Our organization also has a plan to upgrade ERP systems to D365. Medius Flow gave us the full roadmap and provided us with an easy upgrade from AX 2009 to D365 when we do make that change. And then another huge drop in the bucket was the roadmap. So it got 100% approval from IT due to the full implementation roadmap that Medius Flow provided on day one. Our IT department had never seen such a detailed description of a system implementation with correct table names, fields, and so forth. Medius also delivered on everything they communicated. Our IT group still today uses that implementation as the golden standard. Another thing that that Daniel talked about is the return on investment. So we knew that with the automation, through data capture and workflow processes, we would be able to save multiple hours across the entire organization, use them on more value-added items. So the company-wide digital transformation. As with any new system, change management is the most difficult as well as the most important piece of the implementation. There is also a lot of concern when you're adding more technology to daily processes. People that aren't really good with computers might get a little concerned. So to quickly diminish a lot of these concerns, me and my team began communicating the upgrade to Medius the day we signed the contract. So what did that mean? We created a series of did you know visuals that focused on one user experience that would improve with Medius. So as you see on the screen, this one we're focusing on comments and no more email chains. Other ones that we provided were electronic invoice workflow approvals, easier coding, mobile capabilities without an additional application needed, which is huge, visibility throughout every step of the invoice process, centralized invoicing, which meant the employees no longer had to keep up with invoices themselves, and then the quicker visibility of expenses the day that they come in. We also asked for feedback from the entire organization as we were working through the implementation, if they had any customizations or any concerns about what it was, that we kind of took care of those while we could. We created a group of super users in each department that showed an affinity towards technology that would be a champion of the improvements we were trying to implement. The AP and accounting teams all worked extremely hard to try and think of every possible situation and how we would handle it in Medius, and the Medius team worked with us on every process that we wanted to put in there. We made some customizations to leverage every ounce of the capabilities. Also, with the help of Medius, we created a training program that provided every user exactly the tools that they needed right before go live. We thought it was important to limit the time between training and go live so it was still fresh in everyone's mind. So as you see on the implementation timeline, we were training up until the day of go live to make sure everybody was up to speed. So due to the extraordinary efforts of everyone involved, we were able to implement Medius in just 4 months while going through year-end close. So it was a great job by the whole team, Medius and ours included. Another kudos to our team, our invoice processing had 0 interruptions on go live. On day 1, we were processing the same amount of invoices as in our old system before we switched over. Our CFO made a comment after the first week that we were in Medius Flow, and he said he didn't even notice the switch because it was so seamless. So the journey of continuous improvement. When you get a tool like this, you're never going to use it to its full capability on day 1. So we continue to have the learning curve and go down this journey to use it to its full potential. We continue to push our team to improve our numbers. We have a list of daily activities to make sure all of that is done each day and everybody has their responsibility, as well as a list of efficiency initiatives to keep us moving forward toward greater efficiency. So we are analyzing vendors to try to get them on automatic distribution. We're also looking at PO vendors with a low touchless percentage to increase those numbers and keep us moving towards above the average that Daniel showed earlier. So multiple people in accounting are utilizing the reporting in Medius Flow. We even have somebody in marketing that is using a custom field they built us for a sustainability initiative. So a lot of different options just depending on where your organization, where your priorities are. So with all these features, Medius allows Reily Foods to drive efficiencies and scale without any major changes. So after 30 days of Medius, Reily Foods had about a 50% touchless ratio. That was without us changing any internal processes or talking to vendors or anything like that. Currently today, we are at about a 65%, which I believe is a little lower than the average. So we are continuing to try to improve that number each day and identify where our opportunities are. Being a person that loves metrics, data, KPIs, Medius makes it extremely easy to look at every piece of data in real time. As Daniel showed, Medius offers multiple customizable widgets and dashboards that we use to monitor our progress, but we have also been able to leverage our business analysis tool, Power BI, to pull in real-time invoice information to track our average time to post, past due invoices, among many other things. We can see what current handlers have invoices that are past due or outstanding, and then we try to keep up with this average time to post in hours. As you can see, as of 9/26, we were a little over 40 hours for an invoice, which is extremely fast for an invoice. Prior to Medius, we probably didn't even get an invoice for 80 to 120 hours that was going to a person. So for us to process and post it at an average of 40 hours is ridiculously good. So in closing, Medius Flow has changed the way our whole organization processes invoices and is truly been a best-in-class solution for Reily Foods.